Good morning, Millennials. Today is May 21st, 2025. Current time is 10:19 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Current temperature is 59 degrees Fahrenheit. That is if you're in Northeast Ohio. Welcome to episode 2 of Good Morning Millennial Podcast. I'm your host, Matt to the 90s, but you can just call me Matt. Hopefully, we got all of our technical difficulties out of the way from yesterday, and good morning to you all. Hopefully, everyone woke up this morning with no aches, no pains, but we know we're getting there. So, as you guys can see, on today's episode, whoop, whoop, there it is. Whoop, 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 somewhere over there. It's game show. Or no, yes, game shows. I'm not even sure. Was Zoo Venture a game show? 90s game shows we watched as kids. We all loved. You loved it. I loved it. Let's talk about them. Jumping right in. I just pulled up this list and I was like, yeah, this should be a good one. So, we're going to go over their we won't even call it a ranked list. We'll just call it a list of game shows that we grew up watching. So, on the list, Animal Planet Zoo Venture ran 1997 to 2000. I'm going to have to say vague, very, very vague memories on this one. I don't much remember Zoo Ventures. A little bit. I remember more of like Steve Irwin and stuff. I don't know if he was on Zoo Ventures or not. But yeah. Let's see. What do they have to say? San Diego Zoo. Oh, 4 children. Oh, it is. It was okay. Competed in a series of mental challenges. Being a zookeeper for a day. That would be cool. Like I said, I don't much remember that. Video Power, of course, from 90 to 92. This was like Nick Arcade before Nick Arcade, wasn't it? I was literally born in 91. So my memories of Video Power are very, very small. Let's see. Oh, Johnny Arcade, I do remember. Mark Kids, video games, and answering trivia. Final prize: allow the winner to run through a maze in a Velcro suit, sticking prizes to. Okay, I kind of remember kids running around sticking prizes to themselves. Of course, you can check out some videos on YouTube. I'm not gonna play them, but you're more than welcome. Funhouse. This is 88 to 91. I definitely have no recollections of Funhouse. But it definitely looks like one of those what are those, like the big trailer things that you see at the fairs and arcades and stuff that you run through, like the mazes, and they have like the moving floors and stuff like that. That's definitely what this kind of vibe feels like on this. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm glad that I sound better today. All right. Coming up, Think Fast. I don't know why I don't. It's like the name sounds familiar, but the game, like just trying to remember the actual game show itself. I really can't. Let me see. This ran from. That's why these are all like early millennial stuff. 89 to 91. Yeah, I was like, again, just born. Blue team, gold team squared off in a mental physical challenge ranging from memory games to mini golf to strategy based competitions. So it seems like these are like the games that came out before like the game shows that I kind of remember watching. Like this kind of seems like Double Dare or something like that. challenge worth $200. Team had the most money by the end of the game. Went on to the bonus round. The locker room. Yeah, I don't remember nothing like that. Nick or treat. I do around Halloween time. I mean, who could actually forget Nick or treat? That was one of the best. Let's see what it said. Host Fred Newman as a Radar the Bat, Joey the Werewolf, a Hunchback person, and Pumpkin the Jack-o'-lantern. Let's see. A Halloween-themed call-in show, which the contestant is a child on the telephone who has to navigate his character around a virtual neighborhood to ring doorbells and get prizes, all within 40 seconds. Okay, so for some reason I don't remember that. I don't remember them a call-in show. I thought this Nick or Treat was just like a Halloween special type thing. But apparently it was. I guess I just don't remember them like calling in. Thank you for the gifts, Ranger Flames. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm trying to keep an eye. Still having some technical difficulties, but I think we're working it out. Much appreciated. Thanks for joining in. Welcome, everybody. Good morning, Millennials. Let's see what else is on the list here. Make the grade. So, again, these are like super early, 89 to 91. I just by the name, I can kind of guess what this probably was all about. But I specifically don't remember it. Hopefully somebody out there watching this remembers most of these. Let's see. 3 student contestants, each situated at a desk of different color, answer trivia questions from a 7x7 game board, similar to Jeopardy! Their own game board had 7 grades and 7 categories, with each square lighting up when they answered an associated question correctly. The goal was to light up all 14 squares, or at least have the most lit squares at the end of the main game. In addition to the trivia questions, there were some physical challenges called fire drills. These allowed contestants who otherwise performed poorly at the trivia games to gain ground, since winning a physical challenge allowed that player to claim the desk with the most complete squares. I definitely don't remember any kind of like squares or anything. And if I'm missing anybody doing anything out there, I appreciate all the support as always. I'm trying to have everything under control as I multi-stream here for the first time. Well, technically second time. So if I miss anything, I apologize. Call me out. Say it in the chat. Matt, you missed it. What are you doing? Pay attention. And I will try my best. Moving right along. You're on. Again, this was from 98 to 99. This is one that I feel like I should actually remember. And I don't. I don't know why. Let's see. Host Fillmore. Yep. Okay. Similar to the Candid Camera type show, You're On featured kid contestants trying to convince strangers to perform certain tasks while the adults were unknowingly being filmed. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to dig in the back of the brain. It was only on for a year, so it didn't run for long. They won major prizes. Failing still won them a prize, just a smaller one. Yeah, I did not remember You're On at all, to be honest. Let's get down to the ones where I actually remember something, hopefully. What would you do? The logo itself looks familiar, but the actual game, let's see what the description says. Maybe reading the description. So it ran from 91 to 93. I was like 1 to 2 years old. Mark Summers. That name I remember, and everybody else should as well. Let's see, before we jump into this, let's go ahead and change the channel on the TV. What do we got? What else we got here? Ads, sports, ads, no ads. Put some cartoons back on. Oh, there we go. Little Bobby's World. All right. Let's see. The live studio audience watched a previously taped segment featuring children or families put in unusual situations. Through the uh, though the tape was stopped before their actions were revealed. Okay, so this was okay. So I okay. Is this like an ABC thing? Didn't they do this like on America's Funniest Home Videos, where they would have like the audience members guess what was it? Growing man, like where they were gonna get hit or something like that. Head back growing something. I can't remember exactly. Also, if you're just tuning in, welcome, welcome. Thanks for tuning in to Good Morning Millennials. Hopefully everybody's doing great out there. But I do remember the America's Funniest Home Videos one where they would guess. Summers then asked the audience what they would do in the same situation or what the outcome would be. The votes were tallied before revealing the resolution. Special guest also appears on What Would You Do to pick audience members to perform gross and silly stunts involving handling animals, playing messy games, painting, dancing, or creating sound effects. Don't. Again, I remember the America's Funniest Home Videos one more. Get the picture. Okay, so I definitely remember Get the Picture when I was like kind of briefly going over this list. I remember I've seen this and I was like, man, this Get the Picture is what clicked. It's like, all right, here's the nostalgia for me. March to December of 91. I don't like obviously the initial run didn't last long. Which is crazy, I guess. But I remember Get the Picture. It was, yep, Mike O'Malley, two teams of two players, each answered trivia questions for the opportunity to reveal squares on a 4x4 grid with the ultimate goal of guessing the hidden picture. Composed of the 16 squares video wall, the first round was a version of Connect the Dots with two chances to reveal a section of the actual image. The second round featured more difficult questions that had multiple answers, but if completed correctly, would reveal the portion of the hidden image. I do remember this. I what I don't March to December. What is that? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Was that 9 months? 8, 9 months? That show? No, that show had to have been on longer than just 8, 9 months. Oh shoot! I forgot to do my '90s fact of the day, but that's okay. We'll do that at the end. Um, what was I? Oh yeah. There's no way. Okay, so in the short period of time that it did air, there was 2 seasons and 115 episodes to be fair, which is okay, which is why I probably remember this because there wasn't just okay. Okay, so even though it only ran for like, a few months, it played on Nickelodeon until March 13th, 1993. And then it was broadcasted again on Nick Gas from 1999 to 2007. Gotcha. Okay, so that's probably why I remember it because even though it only aired for a short period of time, it was definitely on Nickelodeon quite a bit. All right, so definitely Get the Picture was one of them. Figure It Out, who could obviously forget Figure It Out? Lori Beth, Danny, and like all the celebrity guests. Figure It Out was definitely one of my favorite ones. I love trying to like play along with Figure It Out, even though like I would pretend to not hear what the kid's secret talent was. But Figure It Out was definitely one of my top 10 for sure. Ran from 97 to 2000. Summer Sanders again, great host. I love Summer. Similar to the adult game What's My Line and I've Got a Secret, the panel show featured children with special skills competing as contestants while they stand off screen and share their talent with the home audience. A panel of four Nickelodeon celebrities tried to guess the predetermined phrase that describes the contestant's particular skill. If one of the panelists guessed a part of the contestant's special skill, the word would go on the game board called a Billy the Answer Head. If you don't know who Billy the Answer Head is, you're too young for sure. Or you just didn't watch TV. Good TV as a kid. Sorry. The contestants wins prizes for each round that the talent goes unguessed, while the panel is subject to getting slimed if they perform a secret slime action, which be simple as being a contestant on the show. I remember the secret slime action. Those were, man, the nostalgia, the memories flowing. Love it. Wild and Crazy Kids. I remember the title. I remember the logo. I don't remember the show too much. I can't put my finger on it. I don't know. I can't. Let's see what the description is. 90 to 92 again. When I was yet a mere bebe. Large team of kids captioned by one of the show's hosts would compete in playground games like Dizzy Bat Home Run Derby, three-legged soccer, Simon Says, and tug of war against professional wrestlers. I definitely don't remember kids going against professional wrestlers. Wild and crazy. Like I said, I can remember the name, the logo, but the show itself, I have not a clue. All right, here we go. Nick Arcade. Of course, who could forget Nick Arcade? I mean, as a video game loving kid and a kid loving TV, it's so crazy. I used to watch like cartoons and like so many shows growing up as a kid, and now I watch like nothing. I turn TV on to go to sleep, and that's about it. But Nick Arcade was definitely one of those shows. I loved watching Phil Moore. Two teams of contestants played two initial trivia rounds, with the winner advancing to the video zone. Who could forget the video zone? As a kid, who wouldn't have wanted to be in the video zone? I did. You may or may not have, but I did. To play the video game wizard of the day. Each round started with a face-off between one player of each team. They would compete head-to-head for the high score in a number of video game designed specifically for Nick Arcade. The winning team earned points in the ability to control the game's main avatar, Mikey. Mikey's moving up. Let's go. It was cool. I do remember, like, I was always, as a kid, I was like, man, where do they get these games? Who developed? It's so cool to think back on, like, who developed the games for Nick Arcade. Like, let's see. Let's ask the intro web. If I can spell, that would be great. All right. So we have an answer of who actually designed the games on Nick Arcade. Welcome in, by the way. Welcome, everybody. Let's see. The custom games features on Nickelodeon's Nick Arcade were developed through a collaborative effort involving several individuals and production companies. The virtual reality games were something big word and designed by James Betha and Karim Matef of Betha Matef Productions. The game's programming was handled by Kurt. Why do people have weird names? Tormanian for Saddleback Live Studios and Dean Friedman for In-Video Systems. The development, the custom face-off games such as Metroids and Post-Hate were developed by the Betha Mitef Productions in collaboration with its. Okay. All the custom games and content scoring systems were implemented on the Enigma computers, which provided the necessary graphics and processing capabilities for the show's interactive segments. The collaborative approach allowed Nick Arcade, live action, contestants, virtual environments. That's pretty sweet. That's actually pretty cool. I never knew, and I always thought it'd be pretty cool to see how all that stuff was handled, especially if I could ever make it on the game show as a kid. I tell you, that would be like a dream come true. All right, what's on the next one? Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Okay, I remember the show, but I remember the game so much more. If you remember playing Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego on the old color Apple, like all-in-one desktop computers in the computer lab in like middle school, elementary school, that's where I remember Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego the most. I do remember the game show a little bit, vaguely, kind of, but definitely the old game on like those old PCs is what brought back the nostalgia for me. It was definitely I'd probably say like one of the there was definitely like a bunch of like old, obviously learning computer games that we played like in the computer lab back in the day. But Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? I think like with the memories that I can remember, there was definitely one of the better games for that. But the show itself, the game show, I don't much remember. Ran from 91 to 95. Host Greg Lee and Lynn the I don't know, man. Big Pen and Capella, the Rockapellas, based on a broader bound software computer game series. See, told you. The live action game show was created after a National Geographic survey found that 1 in 4 Americans could not locate the Soviet Union or the Pacific Ocean on a map. What? 3 contestants known as Gumshoes have been recruited by Acme Detective Agency to track down Carmen Sandiego and her henchmen by answering geographic-based trivia questions. The Gumshoes were given crime bucks to start out, rewarded with more for each correct answer, and allowed to wager their crime bucks based on how certain they were as the criminal's location. The Gumshoe with the lowest bank account at the end of the first round did not get to continue on. I don't much remember this like at all. Not really one bit, to be honest. More of I don't even know what a gumshoe is, and if that was even in the game, maybe. Jeopardy teen tournament. I mean, Jeopardy with kids. I remember Jeopardy. Do I remember the teen one? Probably not. And 1987 to present. Okay, so apparently it's still running. Obviously, I'm not a huge Jeopardy fan. I do remember watching like game show TV with like my grandma and stuff like that. Jeopardy was just, it's Jeopardy. Everybody should know what Jeopardy is. I shouldn't have to go into too much explanation. Here we go. A Double Dare, Family Double Dare, Double Dare 2000 or whatever. If I like, so definitely in the top 3, obviously. Double Dare. I remember as a kid, like if I could just get on these, that would be like so cool. ran from 86 to 93. And I think that was what, the family Double Dare? Because I think they ran even longer with like the Double Dare. Wasn't there Double Dare 2000? Just regular Double Dare. Mark Summers, again, great host. Variously known as Double Dare, Super Sloppy Double Dare, Family Double Dare, and Double Dare 2000. Yep. This game show combined trivia questions with physical challenge, relying heavily on gunge to entertain audience and gross out contestants. Two teams, each either composed of two children or two children and their parents, squared off in a main game of trivia questions, which could be answered in a number of ways. Answer the questions, dare the other team. Dare the other team to answer it, doubling the value, returning with a dare with a double dare, doubling the value again, quadrupling it, or accepting a physical challenge instead of answering it all. You had to answer it or do a challenge. I'm sure everybody, if you were a kid in the 90s and you watch cartoons, Double Dare was definitely on the TV. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Good morning, Millennials. Let's go ahead. Scroll down. Let's change the channel. What do we got here? What other cartoons we got on? Claymation again. Watch a little Claymation cartoons. All right, number 2, Legends of the Hidden Temple. I mean, again, another game show we all wish we were on as a kid. I actually recently got my back tattooed, and the Legend of the Hidden Temple, like, circle logo thing is kind of like the centerpiece of it, which is pretty sweet. Legends of the Hidden Temple. Everybody knows teams win against each other just to try to get into the temple, the hidden temple, get the 3 monkey pieces. I mean, it ran 93 to 95. I feel like 2 years wasn't long enough. And everybody knows Kirk Bog. Of course. 6 teams, each composed of 1 boy and 1 girl between 11 and 14, would compete in a series of physical and mental challenges with the ultimate aim of retrieving a priceless, not really, artifact from the something. Turtle? It actually had a name. Oh, jeez. Now I feel weird. Fogg acted as the team's guide, with Olmec revealed mythological, historical. Jeez. Historical. I can't even think. Speak. Jeez. Facts. Anyways, moving on. About each item, teams went through 3 elimination rounds, leaving only 1 team standing at the temple run. Avoid the temple guards and retrieve the artifact, the monkey. Though each episode started with 6 teams, 2 of them were eliminated right off the bat if they were the last ones to cross the moat. You guys remember the moat. You float on the thing, you pull yourself across. Yep. Let's see. The remaining 4 teams then advanced to the Steps of Knowledge, where Olmec would relate the episode's central story as well as the location of the artifacts within the temple. The 2 teams who advanced down the steps by correctly answering related trivia questions then moved on to the temple games. I forgot about the steps. I remember the steps. These physical challenges appeared in the Best of 3 series that not only granted the winning team access to the final round, but also allowed them to earn pendants of life. These items allowed temple runners to escape the clutches of the temple guards as long as they had a full pendant to exchange. It was a brave soul indeed who attempted the temple run with half a pendant, or worse, no pendant at all, because if you got caught by the temple guard, you were done. The temple guard, I'm sure, probably scare the crap out of me now. Well, back then, if I was a kid, if one of those temple guards just jumped out of the wall and grabbed me. But again, Legends of the Hidden Temple, definitely a top 3. The nostalgia, the memories, the want to just go back and be on that game show. I'm sure as many of you would. Let's see. Continuing on, the list is we're at the last one on this list. Nickelodeon Guts, the Aggro Crag, the challenges. I mean, if you were a athletic kid, this this was the game show for you. The bungee jumping off the stairs basketball game or sticking game or whatever it was, that was probably my favorite part of the game, aside from the aggro crag, of course. Who could actually forget the aggro crag? That was, probably one of the coolest things ever. Let's see, it ran from 92 to 95. I can't believe like all these shows just had so like short runs. Like I feel like 3 years was just not enough. Michael Malley again, and a Mo. Who could forget Mo? Unlike many of the other entries on our list. Oh wait, Guts concerned. Blah blah blah. Let's see. All 3 athletes got to compete in the 5th and final round. The Crag, this 28 to 30 foot tall artifact mountain, featured strobe lights, foam rock avalanches, glitter snow, and whatever nuclear flying crystals are. Contestants had to navigate the perilous mountain climb while activating buttons along the way, with the ultimate goal of climbing the mountain first. You had to get to the aggro crag. You had to get to the top first. If you weren't first, you're last. Ricky Bobby. Just kidding. But that brings us to the end of our list and coming up on the end of our show. So usually I do this at the end or at the beginning, but I forgot, of course. So we'll do it kind of here at the end. And that is our 90s fact of the day. So, did you know that on this day, May 21st, 1990, Microsoft launched Windows 3.0, introducing a graphical user interface that significantly contributed to the widespread adoption of personal computers? I didn't know that. You probably didn't know that. Now we know that. There's your 90s fact for the day. If you didn't know it, now you know it. But with that being said, that is going to conclude the podcast for this morning. Hopefully everybody's up, got a little dose of nostalgia, and ready to finish off the day. Hopefully your day is great, just as good as mine. But until next time, friends, stay fresh, stay fly, and keep it 90s, my friends. Peace.